Yes, sir. Thank you for coming being with us today. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. You all may be seated. We have any visitors? Maybe seated, Brother Captain, if you like. So you may be seated if you like. You can sit down. No visitors? Yes, sir. What? Don't be ashamed. Might have something good for you. How's everybody doing? Y'all gonna get this, right? There's a lot of things taking place. I'm quite sure the minister did an adequate delivery of what should be done or how we should be thinking. So it may have saved me a little time. I would like today just to go into a few things of clarity. You know, if you're clear, on what you're doing, then it gives you a strong foundation, or it justifies whether you should or should not do it. Is Johnny here? Where? He's on post. Brother Abdul here? I want to see you all when I'm finished. All right, make sure I don't forget it. I don't want to have Alzheimer's. I understand we have the carry out open, and I hope it'll be a lot of carrying out. Because we have gone, it looks like all over the nation, everything that we're involved in has escalated above our ability to actually maintain it. So the efforts that we are engaged in Africa has to pay off. If we don't, we're going to be going down the drain on a few things. And that's good in a sense because it shows growth. And if I certainly am Allah, well then, if the people are worthy of this, well, I'll make sure we put a plug in the drain. I heard from Brother Boss this morning, he called me, and everything is completed. Some of you all know the difficulty that we had to go through just to open up the carry-out shop. That was extremely minor based on what we're doing in Africa. This enemy of ours, or the truth, this Caucasian, not just here in this country, but if he's a Caucasian, he's a Caucasian. He got some laws that seem to be so ridiculous, however, it protects him. If you're not absolutely sure, absolutely dedicated, absolutely grounded, absolutely clear about what you're doing, you're going to give up. You're going to give up. So we have gone, from the way we started off, it looked like everything was going to be wonderful. The idea was, and is. And those that saw it as an idea are still jumping up and down about it. When they went to go to employ it or put it into motion, then here comes the government, not just here. All of the Caucasians' governments is lying to make sure the black man get nothing. And now we can tell you from experience, because what he's doing in Africa, in order for anything to happen in Africa, it's got to go through some other country, Caucasian's country, to okay it. It's like they got Africa boxed in. If you're going to bring anything out, you got to see the white man. If you're going to bring anything in, you got to see the white man. I don't care how if you swimming across, he's going to meet you at the border. You know. So everything that we've done, they have a clause. So we've gone past all of the clauses. Now we've gotten to the actual owner of the gold that has allowed us to have it, to get rid of it, or to sell it, or to be the middleman. He's now started to complain it's taking too long. He thinks about giving it to somebody else. So it got right up until this Tuesday. So I said, well, Brother Boss, I'll have to go into work. We done went through everything else. Everything else. All the trickeries, all the crazy things they have set up, we've gone through it. And we conquered it. You know, Brother Boss has been over there sweating. And he said, Father, a few times I had to think, are we going to be successful or not? And then I think back, you know, the Supreme Being's back in this. Can't be nothing but successful. He said, every time you think about that, a few minutes later, what he was fighting against come up, it passed. Friday, he called me, we was dealing with Algerian. And that looked like it was like the last obstacle. And this brother, every time we try to get up and down with him, he always eludes us. So we was waiting on him. So Brother Boss said, well, Father, something got to be done with him. I said, well, he'll call you. Because everybody's waiting, the buyers and everybody else waiting on this man. I said, he'll call you, don't worry about it. He called me back in about, I think about an hour, maybe a half hour. I said, Father, I don't know what you did. But he didn't call, he came. You got a fire lit up on this thing. So all that was the last thing we thought. Until now the owner pops up. So Satan don't give up. So you have absolutely got to be clear. This is now, if we were just doing this as a business, that's why no black people here in North America, no black people are doing any business in Africa in a way where it's going to help the Africans or help you. They're either in the pocket of this government, and you don't know what they're doing, and the people in Africa is not getting anything from it. Everybody's robbing each other. When you come to actually do something in a way where it's going to benefit the black man as a whole, you can forget it. You can forget it. That's why the Minister Farrakhan wasn't successful. Why Royall Dean is not successful. They ain't even trying. They just talk about morals, having good morals. What good is it to have good morals when you ain't got no home? You know, good food and no stove to cook it on. Good shoes and no earth to walk on. You know, what good is that? So when we go to do about the things that are real, then that's when we find out everything that's already been put in place to stop you. To stop you. And it made me think, you know, for the many phone calls that I received from my own members that's supposed to be in the mathematical thinking classes that I set up, developed expressly for the ability to solve difficulties or problems. And the things that I'm usually called about are very minute, very simple. It's very important to the caller. It's important, so much so that they call. However, when I hear what the complaint or what the concern is about, I go back and think, well, what's with the mathematical thinking class? Is anybody learning anything? Do you think you will go to heaven on a flowery bed of ease? So, you know, this is what comes to mind. And then now, when it leaves this border, and the people in Africa that are the common folks, so to say, that's not in the government, however, mad with the government, and they're looking at us to actually help develop things, they're asking us, what's holding things up? We tell them what the government is. Oh, God, I hope you're successful. So we got all their prayers resting on us. So I said, well, you all get your passports and everything. We got learn French. We got a brother teaching French in the schools, and some of the students and parents are learning it as I speak, preparing to go, getting their passports, preparing to go. But then I'm still getting a call. So if you go with that kind of inability to solve major or minor problems, are we going to be successful? You must remember, if we are going, it means we are going to be in charge of whatever you're going for. Even if you're going to just for pleasure in our place that we built. Then the servants there, you're going to have to understand their language. You have to understand their mindset. You're going to have to be able to be flexible in your thinking. You can't be rigid. and thinking everything is against you. It is. But everything that's against you don't have no power. You know, if it's successful, it's because you gave it the power. You understand? Well, I thought I'd say a few things today to you about clarity. You know, and I know it's time for another step forward. Because this time when I arrived back here, I didn't feel like I was home. I felt like I was coming to a place that I knew very well, but not home. Not because you all have or have not done something. It's just like, you know, it's like, well, this is really somebody else's home. I got to get to my home. You see what I'm saying? So if that is a fact that I'm picking this up, it must be a sign. Start looking towards my home. Now, that's another thing, too. Regardless of what we do in any other country and for any other people, if home isn't right, more than likely, you're not going to be right abroad. So if I go to, when it comes to the time that I'm supposed to be in my home, and for those of you that don't know where it is, it's in Chicago at this particular time, and it's called the Palace. That's my home. However, when I'm to go, I'm not to go and start a family. I'm to take my family with me. So if the family that I'm carrying with me is not right, or have not practiced what is right, then at abroad, we're not going to be successful. It's what's being said. Is it being understood? I'm not saying this is not going to happen. I'm just letting you know the logistics of things, what must take place if you expect to be successful in whatever you go to do. And I'm here to change the thinking of the black man and bring him back into being God. We already have certain things set up, certain places prepared, everything set and ready. So every time we leave one place that we were set and we completed that and take the next step, we're supposed to be able to confirm or justify taking it. Right? One sense, I'm very, very happy that a lot of you all don't know how to do things, because it gives you room for learning. I have noticed some brothers and sisters come in from this world that has learned how to do things according to the way the world does it. They bring more hell than the person that don't know how to do nothing, because they're steeped in what they have used to been doing. And they apply the same law to this. Ain't going to work. It's not going to work, because everything they do is done for money. It's not done for the love of the human being or their brother or sister. It's not done for that. So that way they don't have to take into account as to how you're going to fare from what they're doing. They do it based on the numbers, very cold. If you do it for, pleasure of a person or to get some IOUs or whatever, that's still not the right reason. However, those of you that are still learning, that really are not familiar with how things go, the posture and the attitude that you have acquired because you don't know nothing and pretend that you do and never had no occupation, no job to prove that you do, when you have the opportunity now in the nation, it looks as though, well, you are answering to somebody that you know, like your mother and father, and so you carry the same attitude. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. I had some people come and visit me yesterday about some land that we have that they feel belongs to them. They want it changed around, put in their name, whatnot. I understand that. However, the question was asked to the one that gave the land, what will you give to see this day come about? And this day means your independence, your ability to go about as a human being, as a recognized man or woman. And the answer is, and he agreed, I will give all that I have, all, and all that is within my power. So he done so. Now, the ones that came up and asked about it and whatnot, they said, well, my father has no doubt in his mind that he's giving you everything. He loves you. So that's his right. You got to remember that he's your father. He had a father. Then he became a man. So it gave him manly responsibilities. So when he decided to do something based on the knowledge or based on what his will was to be, then nobody has a right to change that. You can't usurp or go over this man's authority. You're just going to overlook it. And if he's married and the mother says so and so and so and so and so and the mother's gone and the father's still here, it automatically goes to the father because the two are supposed to be one. But this world's thinking is that's not necessarily so. If so and so did so and so and so, that's the way it should be. That's this world's thinking. So I hope you all don't think that way. Because if you do, you say no. You'd be surprised how endowed you are with this world's thinking. And I'm not saying it's a fault, because everything you get, you're getting from this world. The thing that you're getting that is not coming from this world is the reason for the changing of your thinking. And then the development of a place where you can actually apply this new thinking. If you cannot apply it, you don't need to have it. Would you agree? Well, we're going to see what happens. Now we have a carryout. Those of you that are working in the carryout and the way that you're working in the carryout, if you are not dedicated to seeing that this is a perpetual success, you're going to fail. It's in the contract to the white man because we renting the place. The white man said, this is my place, and it must be open 6 days a week. 6 days a week. And if it's not open 6 days, you don't have to keep open 6 days a week, but you break the contract. So I can sue you for the terms of the rest of the contract you pay anyhow. What I'm saying is, the sun come up every day, whether you see it or not. So the carrier's got to be open. 6 out of the 7. Now, it's giving you an opportunity to try your mathematical thinking. I changed the prices just right on everything. The prices you all had for carry out, to keep it open, it's going to close. And this is you might say, it's just a carry out. You know, it's just sperm. But if it's treated right, it's going to be more than that. It's a school for you. The ones that are working there, you should know exactly what everything is and where it is, how much it costs, and what's got to be made. Just like the devil gave us a hint, because he thought he was talking to the wise. He said, you got to sell, I think, only 10 sandwiches a day to pay his rent. He done figured out how much you got to sell. He ain't selling nothing. He just rented the place to us. If you only sell 10 sandwiches a day, you can pay me my rent. Didn't he make a statement like that? But that's what he's supposed to do. We're supposed to be better than that. Because if we just sell 10 sandwiches a day, we got enough to pay his rent, then how are we going to replace it? How are we going to keep the inventory up? and the gas bill has already come in. I asked her, who the hell was there? 3 different electric meters. So we got 3 bills. You see? So if you're not really into this for really learning, refining your knowledge, your ability to think. You know, the lights got to be cut off when it should be cut off. The gas cut off when it should be cut off. Everybody do what they're supposed to do when it's supposed to be done. Then you can calculate. And you can determine exactly what's taking place. So it is an opportunity for you to see if you're mathematical or if you're personal. Because if you're personal, close the doors now. If you're not clear, and you think, well, this is our carry-out, so we can do whatever we want to do. You can if what you want to do is right. Like they tell me, well, you're allowed, you can do anything you want to do. That's right. As long as I don't want to do something crazy. If I want to do something crazy, well, I'm going to have to pay for it. I mean, I can't just run and jump out that window because I want to hurry up and get outside. I might make it through it, but I don't know about the landing. So it has to be done right. Well, this is the place here. You know, this is just one place here. We have places in Wichita. And just about every study class in Temple has a fundraiser. So we get the reports constantly all the time. And most all of them are the same problem. Personalism. Can't get past it. I mean, you know, Satan just be talking to you and you just be sucking it up. And then when you spew it back out, it's crazy. Oh, you understand. So you got something now to show yourself, see if you really want to do this. Because if you got a headache, the man said you still got to sell them 10 sandwiches. You know, if you got a stomach ache, you still got to sell them 10 sandwiches. And then I hear, today, you all supposed to have a staff meeting? I say, man, that's going to go into 7 days. You got to think. You really, really, really got to think. What I'm saying is, this is exciting in the beginning. And when the excitement wears off, you know, like you get married and, man, I love you, baby, but, you know, where has it gone? Ain't no difference. I love the idea of being and seeing the public coming in and getting good food, got a name. Represents good food. What's the name of it? Food for life. And they keep coming and getting it. And the more it comes, the harder you got to work. The more it comes, the more, you know, you got to keep the inventory up. And when a few come, you know, you can relax a little bit, sit down. But when they come in as a stream, you ain't wearing the right shoes. And somebody says, what you doing? Hurry up. And then you're mad about that. Then you decide next morning, but like, I just can't go. I mean, I got to get myself together here. I'm telling you what's going to come, because Satan is not going to allow you to have that freely. Just like they gave us the gold and the diamonds and all this stuff. And Satan said, oh, really? You don't know what you got to go through. Most of them speak French. And to have any type of money coming in to get any deals done, if it's going through France, it can't be no more than $7,000 unless you get the government involved. Now you got to go through a whole lengthy process of legality with the country or the government for them to make it go through. And we ain't dealing in no 7,000. We talking about hundreds of thousands. They got this thing set up. But we do too. However, I will see the ability, or I will see just how many people that say that you're with me. are really with me. Because lip service will not pay off in this. You got to actually get down and get it. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Well, I won't take up a lot of your time today. We had well, let me say this. As far as clarity, it was supposed to be, according to the weatherman, he had all clear evidence that it was going to be raining rather hard this afternoon here. So when they asked me, Father, are you really coming? I said, it's a great possibility. I'll be out. But since I'm not wearing no hat, I didn't want to get wet. So he thought he was clear. You see? And that's what we don't want to get trapped up in. You may be clear in your mind that this is the right way, and this is the right thing to do. But then you have to take it steps farther than that. You have to be able to prove it. And the more you prove it, like the brother was telling me, one of the ministers called in this morning, Sunday mornings, all the ministers call in and give a report. He says, he says, Father, the captain calls me all hours of the night. And things keep popping off in his head. And he calls me to confirm whether he's right in his thinking. He says, Father, most of the time he's right. He's really growing. And what we have found, when you use the math to bring satisfaction to the thing that you're using it for, it always shows you more than what you're looking for. So I said to myself, well, they get me. Then when you use it, it answers more than what you used it for. It shows you something else. That's the proper use of math. You all have the opportunity, brought to you to be able to actually be able to do that. If you're clear in your thinking that we should have in headquarters, starting off a carry-out shop, well then the first thing that we should always put in practice is a system and a method to make sure peace is always maintained. If you're not going to have peace, you're going to have a problem. And what brings about peace is the proper use of math, where you can justify it. If the math breaker is coming up to tell you thus and so, regardless to who it is, and you say, well, I understand, but that don't match. And if you're able to express the math the way it should be, then the person is rendered nil and void. The idea which they're bringing to you. So peace is maintained. If they still have an attitude, well, then it's just them. I hope you understand. Well, I will be going home soon, or the first step to home. And I'm going to see who's going to go with me, based on what you do. Those of you that are here in headquarters, you're supposed to have, you all been dealing in knowledge for a long time, mainly knowledge, and just the fundraising. So you should have quite a bit, because I've shared quite a bit with you. And most of the time, there's always someone from the family that's here to help you in your thinking. And if they don't get it, they call me and they get the answer and they refer it back to you. So it shouldn't be no problem. Otherwise, what I'm saying is the outside world should not have no attraction on you that's greater than this. You may be using the outside world temporarily to gain your strength, like a baby uses the mother, utilizes the mother and her time and her knowledge and the food, her breast and everything, while it is gaining strength. However, it comes a time when even the mother will make the child, oh, that's enough of that sucking now. You're 3 years old, boy. You understand? So here's your opportunity. And brothers, I'm saying this to the brothers about the sisters. I know how it is to have sisters tell you what to do and not to do. I know. I was born, secondly, behind a twin sister. And until she just told me, don't call me. I don't want nothing else to do with you. If you God, we'll see. I ain't calling no more. Sister asked me yesterday, well, when's the last time you heard from Ellen Ray? God, like it really, man. It's been about 9, 10 years. And he said nothing to her. Because I'm obeying what she said. However, there's been many sisters between that time. They come to tell me what to do. Some things they tell me, and listen to the language. Some things that I'm told by them make a lot of sense. And when it does, I say thank you. When it don't, I say that ain't gonna work. And this is why. And when I answer them, I don't just answer what they ask. I answer everything around it that made them ask it. Then they leave, oh, thank you, Father. It works. So if you don't do it, you're going to always have a sister in your face telling you, and they can think. Oh, man, they're smart. They ask you something that, you didn't even think about. You say, well, then you start thinking, but if I do that, leave me alone. But they ain't. They're not going to go away with leave me alone. You have to send them away with what is right. And then they'll say, okay, I'm gone. When you don't do that, you're going to have a problem. Brother Marcus, that's your name? You stay seated. Because what's coming might knock you down. The brother left from here, went to Kansas to heaven, and every time that I saw him, he was always a pleasantry. He never came in no spirit where it was, you could feel it rubbing against you, and you got to make certain adjustments just to stay there. It was always pleasantry, a pleasant spirit and whatnot. However, I'd watch him. I said, the brother needs some refinement in his movement. However, that can only come from his thinking. If he's not thinking in a refined manner, he's not going to move refined. So we put things into motion and it looked like it was working and whatnot. And then I think he got a couple Dear John letters that broke his heart. So now you got to readjust. So he says, Father, I got to get out of here. Heaven ain't heaven no more for me, it's hell. Of course, he didn't tell me that. I just read it. So I said, okay, we'll take you someplace else since we're a nation. We got more than one door. We try a couple of these other doors. So we promised him he can go to Cincinnati, halfway house. That's going out of jail. However, before that materialized, the need for him to be here developed first. So I asked him, I said, would you come to the headquarters and perform your expertise here? Yes, sir, Bob. Okay, I'll get you over there. I don't know if he knew. And I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about the mindset of all those that are with me. I'm a very, very easygoing brother. I am. And I would say that's based on what I know I have to do. If you're a sister, you know that you are taking care of your family, your children, and your husband is providing for you in a manner in which you actually can do that. You got a car, you can go shopping. You don't deal in none of that. You can go shopping, get your food, come back, prepare it. You got all the time, all the resources. But you don't do it. And then your husband comes home and you got it partially done. One day, like, that's fine. 2 days? Okay. 3 days? Well, what? The 4th day? Huh? You know, it poses a question. So it's the same thing with it. You know, we say heaven, and the ones that's in heaven, they actually go to work every day, and their work is to think and express their thinking. Some of them can't take it. But when they leave there and they think, well, we'll go to headquarters, they think heaven is really tight. But headquarters, you got to be right. Heaven, you practicing. Serious practice. But headquarters, I'm here. They said, Father, you want to go to the carrier? I thought to myself, I don't think so. Why is that? I said, I know I'm going to see something. I know what I do. Yeah, I go. You know, we was on the way back home, coming in. Let's go by the carrier. I said, no, let's go home. No, let's go by the carrier. Let's go home. Well, why we can't go by the carrier out? Because I'm going to see something. He never went by the carrier anyhow. I seen something. And then everything that happens that I don't physically see, I hear. And when you hear, it gives you a much better opportunity to evaluate what's going on. That's why they say, this book you have to lend an ear to, not see. So when I hear, Father, what's wrong with Marcus's thinking? I say, something wrong with it? Don't get uptight, brother. Don't get uptight at all. I do call names. I call my name sometime too. If you are learned in the profession that you claim to be a professional at, it poses a question. If minor and simple difficulties come up and you are unable to bring peace to it. And the ones that brings it to your attention usually are one of the wives or someone that's real close to me. Because I'm on them. When I say on them, I don't, there's no argument or nothing like that. I just ask the question, how much you say was in the bank? Oh, Father, $7,000 in the bank. Hold up, wait a minute. That don't sound right. Then they got to go to the books and get the exact number. And then come back and tell myself, oh, that sounds right. And I don't keep the books. So they can't come and tell me anything. I don't go for it. If they call me and say, Father, we got a call this morning just before we come over here. I told sister, I said, look, hang the phone up. I'm not listening to nobody else calling with that kind of problem, having their own private temple meetings from one of you all. Let them come to class and air what they got out instead of tying you all up. Heck, you're supposed to be in my practice already. I'm only joking, I only eat once a day, But you understand what's being said? So we're going to see about this. And I would be exceedingly happy to know that this is a success, at least to the way that the place looks. It looks godly. And it's not even finished yet. It looks clean. It looks transparent. It looks like you're actually going to get something good from here. Now, we wouldn't want the place to look better than what we are. Although this world does that. They had the big mag rims on the car, shining up, glittering, and they get out afro, dreadlocks, baggy clothes. Look like, man, they took all that time to make that look good. And they look like nothing. We don't want that to happen with us, right? I'm certainly happy that it is open. And just about all of I won't say all, quite a bit of your donations and your efforts and everything had to be paid out to Mr. Bobo to make sure we got it open. I think Sister Carla saved us quite a bit of money on certain things and people she knew and being diligent. And if a few of the others have done the same thing, if I don't know you, call your name, whatnot, you're still being appreciated. However, the thing is getting something open and keeping it open is a different thing. All right, well, we'll see. And I think you're going to work out real good. Just to make sure, I said, well, I'm going to have Brother Omar come over. And since they've shown a great willingness to open this and get it going, I'll bring in someone that is already in it, and maybe his watchful eye will be able to solve quite a bit of problems that is unseen. Has that been the case?
Yes, sir.
So Brother Omar is appreciated?
Yes, sir.
You know he's leaving tomorrow. That's a way to tell if he's really, if they're not lying. What? He's leaving? Oh, then he's doing all right. If I say, oh, he's leaving tomorrow, they say, he ain't doing nothing. Well, they're missing him also in Cincinnati. It's a wonderful thing to be missed. You know why? You can always go back. Well, I like to hear from someone that went on the blissed trip. Was it really bliss?
Yes, sir.
And should there be more planning for other excursions of the kind? Who went? Raise your hand. Well, half the temple. Who is a good, accurate spokesperson or spokesman that would share with those that did not go? Be able to paint a picture for us. Brother Minister Paul? Oh, everybody, front and center, Brother Minister. So I want to hear, and those of you that did not go, they have the opportunity to find out just what took place. I thought it was I didn't have too much to do with that as far as the planning. I said, when they told me about it, I said, oh, you all go ahead. I ain't gonna plan. I ain't gonna help you. Because every time we do that, you call me, how many mileage, how much you're going to charge, how much, blah, blah, blah. So they told me, well, Father, we come to a price, it's $250. I said to myself, what? So where you say you going? Oh, yes, sir, Father, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we'll just drive straight. I said, oh, you are? I ain't saying nothing else. I said, okay. But in my mind, I said to myself, you are taking people. You're not hauling, cattle or freight. Yeah, because I drove for a long time. So if I load the trailer up with a bunch of, lifeless things, I could drive, the only human was me. So if I wanted to go 20 hours, I wouldn't offend nobody but me. But if I got passengers, it's a different thing driving and riding. So they told me, well, we're going straight on through. I said, I wouldn't do that. So, well, we're going to stop in Albuquerque. I wiped my forehead. That's a long ways. But I understand you all did it. I want to know how you did that. Come on up, Brother Minister. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. It was a wonderful trip. I mean, from start to finish. We had such a good time, we didn't want to come back. Woo! I think I speak for most who were on the bus because it was so wonderful. The route that we took was excellent. We left here, I shared that earlier to some of you. We left here and went directly to Cincinnati. And there we were treated like kings and queens. I mean, really like gods and goddesses. The royal family gave up where they were staying. They went somewhere else, to a hotel or somewhere, to leave the place to us. Can you think about that? Isn't that wonderful? I mean, they gave up where they were staying. I think 4 or 5 of us couples stayed in the inn. And then the rest of us, they made room in the apartment building for us. I mean, if that's not royal treatment, I don't know what is. And the place was so wonderful. I was kind of scared to get in the bed. I ain't used to that kind of bed, you know. I mean, you know, you don't even, when one person get in the bed, you don't even feel it when the other person get in. I mean, it's just so wonderful. Then we were left Cincinnati after having all that royal treatment. We went straight to heaven. You all know that's Kansas, right? That's where, as Father shared, that's where we learn to be right. We practice being right. That's heaven. Isn't that wonderful? Well, we got the royal treatment again. We didn't stay overnight there. We just went in and we ate and we felt good and we rested and did all the good things and greeted all the brothers and sisters and just had a wonderful time. Then we changed buses. And I'm telling you, it's just like truth. That pride of truth is something else. You don't feel the bumps too much, it just goes up and down. You know? It's like it got knee action in it, you know? That pride of truth is tough. So after we left Kansas on the pride of truth, we went on headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now that's a long ride. That's a long ride, I'm telling you. Y'all know it's a long ways, isn't it? Oh yes indeed. I was trying to think of the name of the states. I can name the states, but it takes me so long because my memory don't seem to be working too good. But anyway, we got to Albuquerque. Everything was ready for us. I mean, the hotel was ready. All we had to do was just relax and enjoy ourselves. Overnight, right? And then the next day, before we left Albuquerque, we went to a place called Wild Oats. You all know what Wild Oats is? You ever hear about sowing your wild oats? Well, we had a chance to go into the wild oats and just make our choices of various items that we know are good and various items that have not gone through the process that the devil's world have in most of the things, you know, organic foods and that sort of thing. So that was wonderful. We all had a chance to go through there and shop. However, you know, I'll just share, I hope we didn't spend too much money because, you know, we're going to need money when you get back home, too, you know. And, you know, it's been shared with us that, you know, that trip, I don't see how in the world that trip was arranged for just $250. I don't see it. I mean, the $250 was gone when we got to Albuquerque. I mean, you do the math now. You count. You do the math. You staying in hotels and you done had 2 or 3 meals. You done spent $250 already. And you still haven't got to California. Anyway, we had a wonderful time in Albuquerque and then we left there and headed toward California. You know, we got to come out of New Mexico. You go across the north tip of Texas, right? That's a long ride too. And then things start changing up. I mean, the landscape started looking strange, looking different, you know? It shows you that something has had an effect on that part of the world that is different from what it is here, or that part of the country that's different from what it is here. Even the mountains and all of the things that you see, the landscape, it looks eerie. It looks a little bit ghostly-like, you know, scary, you know? So I said, I'm glad we're on the power of truth because, you know, the truth is the light. Is that right? So anyway, we went on to Texas and then on into Arizona. That's when things really started looking bad in Arizona. Just dry. Just desert. Just no life. Only way you get life, you got to pour water on something to make it grow. And you come to those little towns, you see that's what happened. The devil he just brought in water, shipped it in or dug down in the ground to find it, whatever, to make it come alive. You need water. Is that right? Yes, sir. Water is life. Is that right? Anyway, we went on into Arizona and on into California. California is also a long state. I'm talking about the width. But it's nothing like as long as it is on the length, north and south. We learned that a little later, because this time we went straight on in on the, like about the southeastern side of California, on into Los Angeles. Oh, things are really looking different there. Looks so different. I mean, the mountains look bare. You know, most mountains, they got trees and stuff on them. Mountains over there don't have no trees. All they got is some little bushes, little black bushes, or look like. They cover everything. You know what I mean? But the mountains don't have no trees. Some of them it's barren. You don't see nothing. However, when we got to Los Angeles, the brothers and sisters there treated us royally again. You know, it's wonderful to be in the United Nations of Islam. And you know, when you see the brothers and sisters, you can tell them just by looking at them. You can tell who belongs to the United Nations of Islam. They got a new, crisp look to them, you know, and they got a wonderful smile. It looks like they are satisfied that, hey, I'm here in the United Nations of Islam. And it's great. So in Los Angeles, we went into a hotel there called the Doubletree. Now, you all know that's money, don't you? The Doubletree. I mean, it was just like a first class. It was a first class hotel. I mean, they had swimming pool and they had sauna. They had everything in there. I know it cost a pretty penny for that. So, you know, we got to be thinking about that now with the methods that has been made or the things that have been done to produce this for us. We got to pay back now. Got to pay back. I'm not saying that you owe anything, but you owe it to yourself. Right? Because this had to come from somewhere. Praise be to our Father. You know, Father can do more with $1. He can make $1 holler. I mean, it's evident. It's evident what he does with $1. You know? So all of those who are with Father, his family, his wives, they know how to do the same thing because Father has taught them well. So all of it came from Father. They know what to do. In Los Angeles, we had a wonderful time. The brothers and sisters treated us well. We were in this hotel for 3 nights. 3 nights we were in that Doubletree. Is that right? Oh, we had a wonderful time. See, what did we do in Los Angeles? Oh, my goodness. Kind of slipped my mind. I must be getting Alzheimer's. That's it. Universal Studios. How could I forget that? We went into everything. We even went into the ride called Back to the Future. My wife and I got in there side by side in that car. And we were holding on to each other. That thing was rocking and rolling. That thing was rocking and rolling. We were screaming. You can't help but scream. It looked like it's going into another world. I mean, it even looked like it's going into volcanoes and in and out of different planets and things. That devil really got things together on that. He can scare you half to death. And if you give it another try, he can finish you off. Anyway, we went into that. We went into that one that Sister Captain loved so well. The one called The Return of the Mummy. Oh, my goodness. That thing is something. And then we went into, what else? Help me, y'all. Terminator 2. That's a virtual reality. They give you those glasses that make everything look like it's right in your face. And, you know, it's kind of scary too, isn't it? I mean, they be shooting the gun and look like they're shooting it right directly at you. I mean, that's virtual reality. Anything else? Terminator 2. Oh yeah, E.T. I didn't go into that one. Oh, the Waterworks. That's right, Waterworks. That was wonderful. That was just some antics that they did on the water with different boats and things, talking about they discovered land and all that. I don't know if it was Columbus discovered America or what it was. But anyway, it was exciting. It was very exciting. So anyway, we went into all those things. We went down the beach. It was cold though. It was like about 60-some degrees. I felt good with my jacket on. Had on a little sweater too. I felt good. But it was cool and it was windy. But we went on down through that beach, down the walk where they have all the stores and everything, it's something like a boardwalk, except it wasn't a boardwalk, it was just a concrete walk. And all the stores were along the side there. And, they stop in and we could stop in and see this and see that and just a lot of excitement. So I hope I'm not taking too long, Father. And then I wanted to finish this when I was speaking today. So then we left Los Angeles and we started up the coast toward San Francisco. Now that's a long drive too. Los Angeles is a big state. California is a big state. When you go from Los Angeles to San Francisco, you've traveled quite a few miles. We went across the Golden Gate Bridge. We saw Alcatraz. Is that right? You all remember that? Oh, it was just wonderful. We got a lot of pictures and all, so I'm sure you from time to time will get a chance to see some of the pictures. Well, then we went on to, I guess you could call it the grand finale. We went to Oakland. Now, Oakland is a place where we had a temple in the first called Temple number 28. That was established after 27, which is in Los Angeles. So we went to Temple number 28, as it was called in the first. And there we met a brother, Yusuf Ali. He was sent to Oakland in the first under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he has not deviated from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he welcomed us with open arms. I have a little pamphlet here that I want to read, just a brief note. This is something that they had fixed up to welcome us. On the front it says, "Welcome, United Nation of Islam. Your Black Muslim Bakery Incorporated." And it reads, after a picture with Father himself and Brother Yusuf Ali, it reads, "Your Black Muslim Bakery Incorporated welcomes Royall Allah." That's what they call Father. Roy. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, they have so much respect for Father. Royall Allah and the United Nation of Islam. It is truly an honor and a blessing to host you. We pray that we will make the best of this opportunity in developing a dialogue where we can work together in the spirit of unity to establish industry and ownership for our people. Isn't that wonderful? Doesn't that sound like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? That's great. Well, we had a wonderful experience there. We had a chance to say a few words. We didn't want to teach them because the time is not right for us to go into their place and try to teach them. We just want to be ourselves. Let them see who we are. Is that right? So anyway, we had a nice little dialogue with the brother, and we shared with him that Father wanted him to have an open invitation to come to Kansas City when we have our celebration. And that is our independence celebration. Thank you. Y'all help me out a lot. When you're trying to say a whole lot of things and your mind has kind of gone into a state of Alzheimer's, that does happen sometime, especially after you pass 25. Praise be to our Father. Anyway, they treated us royally. They had a dinner prepared for us, food in the bakery prepared for us. They had set up in the bakery a huge area. They put tables down where we could sit and talk with each other and enjoy our food and enjoy ourselves and enjoy their company, and they treated us royally. It was wonderful. And Brother Yusuf Ali couldn't stop talking about Father. He just couldn't stop because the devil had ordered, he shared with us this little story, they had ordered some flour from the devil. And when they got it, one of the bags was busted. So they asked the devil to take it back. The devil got an attitude. And he said, well, we'll take it all back. They said, we'll take it all back then. So they took all the flour back. But lo and behold, he said, Royall Allah provided us with a ton of flour. Whole wheat flour. And he said, And he said it's organic flour. He said it's raised by the United Nations of Islam. And it's also milled by the United Nations of Islam. And it's also delivered by the United Nations of Islam. And he said, and he said that anybody who can produce that, he's got to be God. Is that right? He said, we know what it takes to produce that. So those are some of the highlights that I can think of. We'll be telling you more as we go along. But the trip was so magnificent. When I shared with Brother Ali that Father had shared with him that he had an open invitation to come to our celebration in Kansas in July, he said, we're already making preparations. And it was also shared to share with him that if he needed anything from us, we were willing to give it. In other words, if he needed our help, all he had to do was call. We'll send a bus out there for him if necessary. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. That is really wonderful. Father, I think I've gone far enough. I won't tell him about coming back, but that was also very awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. You get the picture? Black man, you get the picture?
Yes, sir.
So that means we're making inroads with our own people, with our own ideas, and we are accepted. And one thing we do know is deception. So what I'm saying is, if you're actually going to be God the way you should be, here's the place. If you're going to be God and devil, you're going to be seen right away. The people that you're trying to impress, the first thing they see is what they're used to. Wrong. If you are being what you're supposed to be, then they're going to see what is right. They're going to see you as being right. You know, and if you do something wrong, they'll know it was not your intention. That's a big difference. I don't know if you all knew what took place. I asked the wives, and well, I didn't ask them. I made it known to them. This is what I would like to have done on Independence. I'd like to see the sisters in white. And there is I think it's an Iranian. When they were in Los Angeles, he's in business as far as the fabric and cutting out different materials and whatnot. And he interceded for us to buy the particular fabric. And the fabric that he's getting for us, usually I think it costs $4.50 a yard. He got it for us for $1 a yard. And Brother Sevenlex is on the way out there now, picking it up. We're getting a truckload. And when he went to get it, we gave him the money. And he himself is going to add another 600 yards to it. Yes, sir. Now, here's the kicker. He invited Brother Aaron and I think Brother Sevenlex to his home. And they went to his home, and when we got there, he gave us 2 cars. Then he said that, then while he was there, he had a satellite, and they look at the news from his own country, you know, which makes sense. And he told them a story, or he told them what had happened to him when he was a little boy. He said he had a dream when he was in Iran that he had to come to America, or that he was going to come, and he was going to meet some Muslims here. Well, he's absolutely here in Los Angeles and in business. And while they were there, he called his parents up, his father, and told him his dream has come true. He met the Muslims. You see? So when you're not sure, if you're not absolutely sure, you're not absolutely clear, this is the place for you to develop, then you already lost. We are going to rule the world. Every nation is going to bow. And it's not so much to me, it's what I stand for. And a man is lonely if what he stands for and he's the only one that's doing it. He's happier when there's more and more doing it. Well, I hope you all got a good understanding of what took place. And there are many, many more things. There are quite a few. We have paid for a package that will allow us to go to Cancun. It's been paid for. Like I said, when I went in the dually, whatnot, I seen everything there. I wasn't interested in going. And I didn't see nobody with me that was, vigorous and really looking for life and getting the fun out of it. That would be any good for you either. Because when you actually arrive there, what you see is the cream of the devils. They strut around as though they have the right to be crazy. So you're there being intelligent and civilized just don't fit. Unless you are of a certain age where they look past that. They just look, they're back from the era where everybody was civilized. We understand. So I have offered, a sister captain, not saying she's old and her husband, of the land, to go. It's already paid for. It cost us $8,000. I think we've used maybe $2,000, if it's that much. Because when I went to Arizona, I used it. And same thing in Arizona. I just came back from there. I went out there to do nothing. And I found out you can't do that. However, I would like to see it being used. And those that would really want to go, and if it's approved for you to go, I'm just warning you as to what to look for. You're not going to find anything there that you don't find right here if you go to Baltimore Harbor. Because the devil do the same thing over and over and over, just do it in a different spot, but it's the same old hamburger. So if you want to go, you want to rent a car and ride around and look, really you could walk around Cancun and see everything. If you get in the car and leave Cancun, however you pronounce it, Cancun, you're going to step into a world of misery. Once you pass Walgreens, Walgreens is outside of Cancun, the other side of it. Once you pass that, you be looking, man, how in the world people can see this but live like this? Pitiful. So those of you who want to go, I asked Sister Captain them to go. They ain't let me know yet whether they were going or not. But are you going to go? So anyone else that has the time, if you're working and you want to go, let us know. If you got off and you got a week or whatever it is, just let us know. We'll let you know what's involved. All right? I don't know if anything else I'd like to, I have time to really share with you. Anyone that's with us that is visitors or whatnot have any questions? Yes, sir. There's so many things. Yes, there's so many things that's opening up. Let them come on. I'm sorry. Come on. There's so many things that is opening up to us. And when the people, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
When the people see that we actually have the power to do what we say, it's over with. It's over with. Now they ask us to do things and they watch to see if we can actually have the power to do it. Even some of these white people that you go in these offices to get the permits and whatnot, and they watch you to see how dumb you are. And then they see, well, he's pretty dumb, but then you come back. Now they say he's pretty dumb and persistent. You might say, Father, you talk bad about us. I'm not talking bad about you. I'm talking the necessity for you to be God. Because we are already living in a world where there is a God. And he ain't right. And he ain't going to just roll over and play rover and just give you, he ain't going to give you nothing. You got to take it. And remember what it reads. the kingdom was taken without hands. So it means it had to be taken from here. That's all I'm saying. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Matthew Coulter. This is my first time being here and everything. And one of the questions I always had to ask you, because my brother-in-law told me all about you and everything, and I told him I had a lot of questions, but the one main question I have, and I always wondered, was, why is, like, how come when we're put on this earth, why is it so hard for us to find what our common goal is or what our purpose and reason in life is? And not only that, it's like, okay, my whole life, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because no one is perfect, but I'm saying majority of my life I've been nice and stretched my neck out for other people, even when they turn their back on me, or even when they, you know, not so much astray from me, or like forget who I am after I've done something for them. How come is that, like, when you do things for people, it's like you end up getting the bad side of them all the time? And like, how come it's so hard for me to find my purpose in life and what it is?
Well, that's an easy question answer. All of us are in jail. And it don't have bars, physical bars, unless you go outside of this country, then you'll see them. They have something called a border. Now you got to come up with, what was your grandmother's name? Oh, you know that? What was your great-great-great-grandmother's name? Oh, you don't know. Well, go back and get the documents. So the fact of the matter is, we are in jail. And in jail, we have to go by the laws and rules that the jailers have fixed up for us. So if you're going to be yourself, the God that you really are, it would be in a conflict with the jailer. Then they would find themselves in jail. So that's what's happening. That's why only the Supreme Being, only Allah, only the God got the key to take you out of jail. So when you're with me, then you learn, oh, I know what my duty is. Oh, I know why people treat me the way they do. Even with all of my good intentions and my goodwill, they treat it as though I'm weak. That's the way they've been taught. That's the way the jailers say they got to do. And since when they come to you, what you're giving them is what you have, and that's very little. Even if it's peace of mind, it's short-lived, because the jailer is going to take it back from you. So really, in their mind, you really ain't helped. So when you come to me, I help you. And if you're going to stay, the help becomes permanent. If you're going to leave, it's your choice. But this is the real place. I unlock the door and the devil can't lock it back. Now, you can give him permission to lock you back up. But if you don't, he can't lock you up. So that's why. So if you want to have freedom and know what your destiny is and whatnot, it was a time given to this other God, 6,000 years to rule, not to have no partners. He was to rule. He's doing it. Now it's time for him to come out of his rule, or put it this way, now it's time for us to come into the position of rulership. And in this, coming into this, we're running up against this blatant opposition from everybody, even the people even your children, your wife, your in-laws. The righter you try to be, the more you see how much you got to fight. However, if you're with me, your fight is not in vain. You're going to win. So that's what's happening. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have a question. As a young child, I went through a lot of stuff when I was younger. I think I have a good heart, always willing to give, the same as the gentleman right there about the same situation. However, I have a question on how will I go about trying to get peace of mind and trying to, I guess, get away from the negative influence that may be.
Well, that's easy too. Got to come with God. You know, the first thing that I do is bring peace of mind. And now, a lot of people can introduce or bring you into the peace of mind, but they can't maintain it. You know, like a lot of black people open up stores. They're proud they got it open, but then they can't keep it open. Can't keep it open. So if you come with me, the first thing you receive is peace of mind. then I have a system set up to perpetuate that. It has to be maintained and constantly, keep it going. That's where we fail. Somebody can tell you, when they come and tell you, well, I love you and all that kind of stuff, that it might give you a peace of mind for a second. The reality of it is you still got to eat and you ain't got no farm. The reality of it is you got to pay your rent and you don't own nothing. The reality is you got to get a job and you haven't created none. So the love is temporary. The peace of mind was temporary. When you come with me and you start to learn, it reads in the prophecy or in the book that my people, not the people, my people, God's people, lose their life for the light of knowledge. And because they don't have knowledge, you don't have no peace. When you have knowledge, you know how to do a certain thing, and you're in the right place to have it done, where nothing can stop you from doing it. Who can break the peace? And in all men's gathering, all men's want, his best is to have peace. Don't nothing supersede that. Nothing. And you will not get it in a perpetual way unless you are with me.
Okay, my next question is, how will I go about getting with you, being as I was born and raised in a Christian environment, but I wasn't another type of person that believed in everything that they said inside the church.
Well, what you do, you see the captain, or you see someone here, ask them who you supposed to see. The sister captain is sitting in the rear. You see her and take the necessary steps. She'll guide you as to what to do, so you can take the steps to come in. This is a gradual thing, a growing thing. It don't mean that we're doing everything right. We just the people that are set up to do right. So when you come in, it gives you a chance to take the steps towards perfection, and this is the place. So it's not that when you come in, we don't expect you, well, she's in now, she's right. It don't happen that way. You come in, you start seeing, like I got a little boy, I watch him, and he watches me. I was gone all the time. I came back home, he looked at me, what the heck is this? Then you look and see my mustache, you look there, yeah! Because he been looking at all the sisters. They ain't got no mustache. I think they ain't got one. Yeah. So when you come in, if you have an open mind and willing to have your thinking changed or corrected, if you're willing to do that, you won't have no problem. Before you know it, we won't be able to tell you any different from either one of us. Been here 10, 15 years.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And this belongs to you. It isn't something that you coming in and you getting that we got. It belongs to you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Is that it? That's it? You have one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Does the tribe that a brother or sister is from determine how well or how fast they can pick up knowledge or understanding?
Yes, sir. Well, I say yes, sir. Each tribe have their own die of how they think, because they are the physical manifestation of a collective number of attributes. And that's the only thing that appeals to them. So when they're in that kind of knowledge or gaining knowledge, they get it very rapidly. If they're in the God knowledge that brings about purpose and aim and vision, if they're a tribe that don't do that and have to receive it, and you expect them to do this with you, then it looks like it's very difficult for them to do it. You might say, boy, they're slow, but they're not slow. They're just not in the right class. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I do love you all, and I think what I'm doing should bear witness to that fact. And there is no ceiling to this. If you cannot find the ceiling to space, you will not find this. Otherwise, there's no such thing as a glass ceiling, or you can rise so high, and after that you reach it. There ain't no such thing. The only thing I want you to do is just get started. Just get started. And it ain't no end. Like they were asking me yesterday, are you telling me that there's not going to be anybody with you is not going to die? I said, well, no, I'm not saying to anybody. However, if you are really with me, from the standpoint of knowing, not from your belief and your faith. If you're with me because you believe and you have the faith strong, more likely you're going to die. If you're with me out of knowing what you know is going to keep you alive until I actually destroy the reason for death. When there's no more negative, there's no more Satan, you can't die if you wanted to. However, until that takes place, if you're with me out of reasoning, out of faith, out of belief, there's a good possibility you'll be checking out. You got it? Yeah. Other than that, death has no power over you. And since I'm moving forward, I want to have those that are with me move with me. So it look like ain't nothing happening. You know, you ever been on the highway and you're doing 70 miles an hour, speed limit is 75, and you come up on it's a dual highway, but it's only 2 lanes. Here you got 2 people riding beside each other, 65. And they just riding right beside each other. Look like ain't nothing happening. Because everybody's doing 65. But you really move it. So, you nudge up to kind of let the person know, man, one of y'all move. Then after you ride for about 50 miles like that, seemed like it. Then when one finally breaks, you get around, you calm. Ain't no limit till you run up on the next one like that. Then you figure, maybe I'm going too fast. Oh, goodness. Well, anyhow, that's what's taking place. I'm very pleased with what you all are doing. In other words, do not go into nothing that we're doing in no spooky way. It don't work that way. Math is not spooky. Don't get married because you like the way she looks. Don't do that. Don't go into, don't even eat the sandwich because you like the way it looks. And the devil makes his drink look very, it be hot, but the bottle look like it's cold. And like you really want to go get it, but it ain't no good for you. So if you're going to do something, do it because it's right. And you can bear witness. If the people that's there that you're dealing with don't understand it, and if you don't have the time, don't force it. We got some drinks that's coming down. Some of y'all may have seen it. It was down in Celebration in Atlanta, a brother out of Connecticut. We're putting our labels on his work by his permission. That's what he wanted to do. So we made the label up and everything. So maybe by next week or week after, we will have it down here in the carry out and for those of you that want to buy it from the table. And we're going to, send it around the country. And there's another brother that's a millionaire now. The brother called me this morning and said he likes the bean pie in Connecticut. And he already has a distributorship where he deals with food. He's got over 100 and some stores. And he wants to put our pies in it. At no cost to us. You like that? So what I'm saying is each step, there's something else for you. But the black man keeps hanging back, waiting. Well, I got to see. And half of y'all that's in here that can see, I don't believe what I see. And the reason why you don't, because you're looking at yourself. If you look at the idea and move on the basis of that, it's impossible. You can't be stopped. Just like a boss went over there, he's been over there now almost, 2 months or 3 months? Fighting these people. The only thing we had to put up with was time. They had to put up with defeat. Because everything, we defeated them. Now we're working on the owner. And soon we get this, but we learned a lesson. Because we got 4 or 5 other deals lined up right behind this one. Soon this breakthrough, bam, 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 we got the other one. We don't have to go through all that other stuff. You see? And you young people, acknowledge to yourself, you don't know nothing. That's a good thing. The bad part is, you act like you do know it and you ain't gonna learn nothing. I know everything. I'm a know-it-all. However, there's many things that can be brought to my attention. Many things. Sometimes I talk to Uncle Bobby. He said, "Father, so and so and so." I ain't thinking that. I'm a know-it-all. How come I didn't know that? I just didn't think of it at the time. Oh, Uncle Bobby, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank you. That's the way I take it. Hey, I'm better to go now. He brought it to my attention. I don't take it like, well, oh man, don't he know I'm a lot? You tell me something like that. You see? If you're going to be successful, that's what you got to do. You going to do it, black man? Yeah. And don't pay no mind to what I said. You're a good brother. Sister Secretary, you can come up. Or you do it from there, or you do it from here. Oh, come on up. Assalamu alaikum.